President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ended his work vacation and is expected back home in Abuja today to resume official duties. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this in a statement. He said Tinubu is returning home 11 days after he left Nigeria for France as part of his annual holiday. Onanuga noted that the president departed for France on September 4, 2025, to spend part of his annual holiday and was initially scheduled to divide the period between France and the United Kingdom. During his stay in Paris last week, Tinubu held a private meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Palace. The two leaders discussed key areas of bilateral cooperation and agreed to strengthen the partnership for mutual prosperity and global stability. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has opened registration for ad-hoc electoral staff to serve at the Anambra State governorship election. INEC said application started on Monday, September 15, and is expected to end on October 5, 2025. Making the announcement on its X handle yesterday, INEC said opportunities exist for eligible ad hoc staff, including supervisory presiding officers or SPOs, presiding officers or POs, assistant presiding officers APOs, and registration technicians or RATECs and RAC or RAC managers for the Anambra State 2025 governorship elections. According to the advert, applicants must be residents of Anambra, Delta, Enugu, or Imo states, except RATECs, who must be INEC ICT staff. To be eligible, applicants must not be members of any political party and must not have publicly demonstrated support for any candidate or party. SPOs will be drawn from federal, public, or civil service and MDAs on specified grade levels. POs and APOs will include serving or recent NYSC members, INEC staff, and qualified federal tertiary institution students. INEC added that interested and eligible applicants can register online via the web portal or through the Android mobile app. Applicants are advised to read the eligibility criteria carefully before submitting their applications. The recruitment comes as INEC prepares to conduct the upcycle Anambra State governorship election scheduled for November 8, 2025. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN Enugu chapter, has confirmed the start of an indefinite strike over unpaid salary arrears. Mr. Samson Ifedima, the state JUSUN chairman, confirmed the development in an interview with newsmen in Enugu. He explained that the strike is a resumption of earlier suspended industrial action over non-payment of the consolidated judiciary salary structure and other outstanding entitlements. JUSUN has persistently agitated in several states against the non-implementation of financial autonomy for state judiciaries under Section 121, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution. Ifedima said the strike began on Friday following a directive from the JUSUN national body instructing Enugu judiciary workers to withdraw services. He noted that the national body was available for negotiations if invited, adding that the strike would be suspended once their demands were fully met. Following the early warning flood alert issued by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, the Abia State government has ordered the massive desilting of blocked drainages across the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Prince Okekanu, disclosed this in Umuahia while briefing journalists on the outcome of the weekly State Executive Council meeting presided over by Governor Alex Oti. He said the Abia State Environmental Protection Agency is working round the clock in several parts of Aba and Umuahia to ensure that blocked drains are free from flooding. The commission also urged Abia State residents to key into the state government's initiative to make Abia the cleanest state in the country by keeping the surroundings clean. Kanu also announced that the State Executive Council approved a statewide tree planting campaign as part of its Go Green policy. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has confirmed that 6 persons were rescued and 4 died following the collapse of a 3-story building. The building is located at number 325 Boronu Street, Ebute Metta, Lagos. At the scene of the incident, Mr. Olatunde Akinsanya, Director of Operations, LASEMA, told reporters that coordinated efforts of multiple agencies helped to contain the situation and ensure timely rescue. He listed the agencies to include Lagos State Building Control Agency, the Police, Lagos State Fire Service, and Federal Road Safety Corps. Akinsanya said despite the magnitude of the collapse and combined number of people in the building at the time, swift intervention of the agencies prevented much loss of lives. On crowd control and security at the scene, Akinsanya commended the residents for cooperation, attributing it to increased sensitization and synergy between emergency services and the public. Reports say that 2 persons were rescued early yesterday, about 3 days of being under the debris of the collapsed building, bringing the total number of rescued persons to 6. The Federal Ministry of Education has directed that accreditation of both public and private secondary schools for the conduct of public examinations, including WASSCE, NAPTEP, NECO, and MBIAS, shall henceforth be contingent on the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, or TRCN, certification of teachers engaged in such schools. The ministry said the decision was in line with government policy to strengthen the teaching profession, insisting that secondary school teachers in the country must obtain the proper certification. Otherwise, such schools will not be allowed to serve as an examination center. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, in a letter to the Registrar / Chief Executive of TRCN, Dr. Ronke Shoyembo, noted that effective from March 2027 for WASSCE, May 2027 for NAPTEP, June 2027 for NECO, and June 2027 for SAISSCE, any school whose teachers are not duly registered and licensed with the TRCN shall be disqualified from serving as an examination center. He also notified state governments about the decision, requesting them to take due cognizance of the directive and put in place necessary measures to ensure that all teachers in state-owned secondary schools and private secondary schools obtain the requisite TRCN certification within the stipulated 2 years from the date of the policy directive. To end the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m., a recap of the major headlines. The president of Dangote Petroleum Refinery, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has stated that the nation's 50-year battle with fuel lines has come to an end. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has opened registration for ad-hoc electoral staff to serve at the Anambra State governorship election. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, Enugu State Chapter, has confirmed the start of an indefinite strike over unpaid salary arrears. And finally, the Federal Ministry of Education has announced that schools without TRCN teachers will lose WAEC and NECO status. That was the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.